umaga, MPC at sa ating mga bisita. Kayo po ay nasa ating weekly economic press briefing co-hosted by the Economic Development Cluster and PCOO. Mahalaga po ang sapat na pondo sa pagsiguro ng matagumpay na pagpapatupad ng mga programang lalong magpapalago ng ekonomiya at lalong magpapaginhawa sa pamumuhay ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Ang buwis ay ang lifeblood ng gobyerno, sabi nga ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Sa taong 2019, umabot na sa mahigit 6 na bilyong piso ang nakolektang buwis ng BIR mula sa Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o Pogo. Ang halagang ito ay may increase ng 169% kumpara sa 2018. Dulot ito ng mas pinaigting na kampanya upang pagbayarin ang tamang buwis ang Pogo, service providers at workers. Alinsunod sa tax reform for acceleration and inclusion o TRAIN law, inilunsad ng Department of Finance, BIR at BOC ang fuel marking program noong 2019. Sa darating na Pebrero po, mahahaluan na dapat ng specialized fuel marker ang lahat ng produktong petrolyo gaya ng diesel, gasolina at kerosene sa merkado na siya rin palatandaan na nabayaran na ang karampatang excise tax. Magsisilbing ebidensya naman ng smuggling kung ang produktong petrolyo ay walang molecular market o marker. Upang talakayin ang mahalagang updates sa fuel marking program at enforcement efforts ng BIR at BOC, makakasama po natin sina Deputy Commissioner Teddy Raval at Assistant Commissioner Vincent Maronilla mula naman sa Bureau of Customs at sina Director Beverly Milo at ang Chief BIR Strike Team Sunny Advincola. Good morning.
So magandang umaga po sa ating mga kaibigan sa media at ating mga kasama sa pamahalaan. 6 na buwan matapos ang opisyal na simulan ang pagmamarka ng mga langis noong ikalawa ng Agosto taong 2019 sa terminal ng Sea Oil sa Mabini, Batangas, sisimula na ng Bureau of Customs, Bureau of Internal Revenue, ang field testing technician ng SICPA SGS ang pagsusuri ng mga langis sa mga gas station, tank truck at depot sa buong bansa sa kalagitnaan ng Pebrero ngayong taon. Ito ay upang mabigyang pagkakataon ang mga kumpanya na apektado ng pagsabog ng taal na maibalik sa normal ang kanilang operasyon at maituloy ang pagmarka ng kanilang produkto bago simulan ang pagsusuri ng petrolyo sa merkado. Ang fuel marking program ay binubuo ng 2 bahagi. Una rito, ang fuel marking o ang pagmamarka gamit ang isang espesyal na kemikal sa mga angkat at gawang diesel, gasolina at kerosene matapos itong mabayaran ng tamang buwis at bago ito ibenta sa publiko. Ang ikalawa ay ang field testing kung saan mag-iikot sa mga piling lokasyon ang mga kinatawan ng Bureau of Customs o Bureau of Internal Revenue katuwang ang field testing technicians ng SICPA SGS upang suriin kung markado ba ang mga langis mula sa mga gas station, tank truck, at mga depot sa buong bansa. Kung mahuhulihan ang mga kumpanya ng hindi markado o hindi pasadong langis, maaaring kumpiskahin ng gobyerno ang mga ito, dagdag pa ang pagsampa ng kaukulang kaso, pagbabayag ng multa at posibleng pagpapasara ng gas station. Sa ngayon, nakapagmarka na ang Bureau of Customs at ang Bureau of Internal Revenue ng humigit kumulang na 2.5 bilyong angkat at gawang langis sa 24 na mga terminal sa Batangas, 2 refinery, kasama ang mga lugar sa Subic, Bataan, Cebu, Leyte, Davao at Cagayan de Oro. Isang magandang simula na lalong pag-iigtingan ng sa taong ito. Kasabay ng pagdiriwang ng ika-118 anibersaryo ng Bureau of Customs sa ika-7 ng Pebrero nitong taon na to at bilang paghahanda. Sa ngayon, nakapagmarka na ang Bureau of Customs at ang Bureau of Internal Revenue ng humigit kumulang, sinabi namin kanina, 2.5 bilyon angkat na gawang langis sa mga terminal na naibanggit. At patuloy na gagawin ito ng ating pamahalaan at ang Bureau of Customs at ang Bureau of Internal Revenue sa buong taon nito upang mailunsad na ang kaukulang full implementation ng fuel marking program. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Sino pong susunod? Sige po.
Para sa ating mga kaibigan sa media and of course our supporters and viewers, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Sinabi na ng partner namin sa custom na ang fuel marking program ay ilunsad na for the marking. So yun yung unang aspect ng programa. Kailangang markahan muna lahat ang gasolina. So pag nakita po ninyo, dalawa po ang agency na involved dito. Meron pong BOC at saka yung BIR. Ang jurisdiction ng bawat isa ay identified. So BOC will be for the importation, and of course, for the BIR, para po sa local production ng petrolyo. And here, ang jurisdiction namin, dadalawa lang po kasi at this moment, dadalawa ang nagpo-produce ng petrolyo sa Pilipinas. From the marking, hindi po nagtatapos ang fuel marking program. Yun lang po ang umpisa. So we need to proceed and conduct what is known as the enforcement activity by way of random inspection. So ito na po, magkasama po ang BIR at saka BOC, pwedeng magkahiwalay na operation, pwedeng mag-joint depende sa sitwasyon. So ang BIR will be handling all the gasoline stations within the country, nationwide po yan. And as already stated, we will be doing it in collaboration with the service provider, that is SICPA and SGS. Kasama po namin yan. And when we do the testing, meron po kaagad yung what is this, mobile unit laboratory. Nandun na po yung testing equipment. During the testing, lalabas po yung result, makikita po ng taxpayer, makikita po ng team, and therefore it will be covered by a CCTV camera in order to make the testing as transparent as possible to avoid accusation that baka naman mali yung result na lumalabas dyan. Okay? So right there in there, pag tinest po yung gasolina within the site, ilalabas na po yung result within a few minutes. So from there, it depends kung ang resulta ay pass or fail. Doon po i-enforce ang BIR. Pag pass po, okay na lang po yan. It's just part of the reporting process. Pero pag nag-fail po, the enforcement will follow. Okay? And the corresponding imposition of penalties and assessment of taxes payable. So yun lang po yun.
Sir, Alvin ko lang.
Good morning. One of the enforcement of the BIR, in addition to this new enforcement activity, is the creation of the BIR strike team, simply to address the proliferation of illicit cigarettes in the public markets and the markets. So this was created by the Deputy Commissioner Arner Gubalya and the Commissioner of Internal Revenue, Attorney Cesar Dulay, last March 2018. And up to this time, we are trying our best to address this problem of manufacturing and dealing with these untaxed cigarettes. Yun lang. Thank you.
Commissioner Rabal, may gusto ba kayo? Okay, MPC, may tanong kayo? Questions? Wala na kayong tanong. Arian, microphone please.
For the Bureau of Customs po, sir, di ba po dapat last year ma-implement itong fuel marking program? How has that, dahil hindi po na-implement agad last year, how has that affected your collection target po?
Well, noong
2019.
2019, we were given additional collection target of about 10 billion. Supposedly anticipating the full implementation nitong fuel marking program. Pero nga, dahil sa mga pangyayari na wala naman sa control din ng ating pamahalaan at ng mga kumpanya ng langis, medyo ito ay na-move for this year. Initially lang, marking lang yung nailagay namin. Marking lang yung nagawa pero wala pa naman yung field testing. So, hindi namin matranslate yon into the actual collection of the target that was given to us. Pero kahit naman na hindi na-implemento, sa tingin namin, maayos naman yung aming pagpapatupad ng aming mga polisiya ngayon. So tinanggap pa rin namin yung 10 bilyon. Pero hindi namin din kinakaila na part to nung isa sa mga factors na sinasabi namin kung bakit meron may konting shortfall kami dun sa target namin.
Can we know the figures, sir?
Well,
Yung
the target namin.
Yung target po for 2019 and then yung shortfall.
Ang target namin is 661 billion. And then we were able to collect 630 billion I think 0.34 if I'm not mistaken. So there was about a shortfall of about 6%.
Okay. And then you attribute that shortfall dahil po hindi na-implement agad itong fuel marking program.
Hindi lang naman, may mga macroeconomic assumptions din kami na tingin namin supposedly we were expecting to happen pero hindi rin nangyari. Nag-play out din yung, of course, yung dollar exchange, yung exchange rate, yung volume ng ating pag-aangkat ng importation, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority also, it was down by about the same rate, about 6% I think. So all in all, kasama yung epekto ng, of course, additional target namin. Isa yon sa mga factors na tinitingnan namin. Again, it was the Bureau of Customs who actually said that there's no need to adjust even if walang full implementation because we were confident enough that mukhang kakayanin namin. Kaya nga lang, may mga ibang macroeconomic assumptions na hindi nangyari. Pero overall, masaya pa rin naman kami dun sa... Mas masaya kami kung na-meet namin yung target. Pero looking at how we actually performed and looking at the rate of assessment that we made, kahit pa paano nakapag-improve kami at malaking collection namin.
Okay, sir. And sir, for this year, for 2020, dahil full implementation na po yung fuel marking program, ano po yung target collection natin for this year and how confident are we na marireach po natin yun? Or even ma-exceed?
About 760 billion, I think. We have an additional 100 billion for this year. If everything goes well, which we expect dito sa implementation ng fuel marking, at titingnan nyo yung mga figures na pinag-aralan namin sa leakage natin sa oil smuggling, makakatulong na malaki to para ma-meet namin yon. Pero bukod doon, syempre, may mga reform agenda din na pinapatupad si Commissioner Guerrero, pamunuan namin sa Department of Finance, para ma-meet namin itong collection target ngayon. Tinitingin namin in-expect namin mas magiging maganda yung economic environment sa pag-aangkat ngayon. Of course, we're guarding against some other issues na maaring maka-apekto dito. Pero overall, we're confident that we'll be able to meet this year's collection target.
Okay, sir. Sir, last na lang po, sorry. Sir, how much po yung losses last year for oil smuggling and paano po ito makakatulong para ma-reduce po?
I can't provide you with an estimate. There are studies na sinasabi. For maybe Depcom Raval, because he's in charge of fuel marking, can tell you later on kung magkano yung nawawala. Pero ang intensified na programa namin sa fuel marking, tapos pinapalakas din namin yung risk management system namin ngayon. At the same time, fully implemented na yung post-clearance audit namin. These are the measures that we're undertaking to ensure that leakages in, let's say, if there is smuggling of petroleum products, ma-minimize. But I'll turn over you to Depcom Raval. Maybe has some data on figures on estimates of fuel smuggling.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, the data we have shows an increase in the collection of duties from fuel marking. I know, not from oil, no? If I may read yung report namin, compared to the previous years, in 2017, for oil products, no? In 2017, remember, wala pa pong fuel marking at that time because the train law was passed in December of 2017. So in 2017, the collection for oil products by the Bureau of Customs is at 45.9 billion. In 2018, when the train law was in effect, it jumped, actually it doubled to 91.9 billion. I'm referring to oil products alone. And in 2019, last year lang, the collection for oil products by the Bureau of Customs again increased by as much as 45 billion. Kasi ang total namin for 2019 is 145.2 billion. So, although we cannot attribute this to the fuel marking dahil hindi pa nga na-implement yan, fully implemented last year, although we started marking in August, no? But, of course, the statistics don't lie. So, the conclusions, kayo na pong bahalang gumawa ng conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, questions, MPC? Celerina?
Magandang tanghali po. Regarding your target for this year sa fuel marking, you have mentioned that you're grounded with some issues, if ever. What are these risks, sir?
Sa fuel marking, ma'am?
So,
Ano, ma'am, I mean, we're saying that maybe it was last year, but this year we're expecting to gain some collection from the full implementation of the fuel marking. Last year kasi, there were some issues that we needed to thresh out before we can fully roll out the fuel marking program. There were some technical issues that we needed to clear out to ensure yung mga security and safety measures namin in implementing this program. But that was last year. Ngayon ho, since expected namin na lahat ng petrolyong bayad sa merkado ay namarkahan na by February of this year, then yung full implementation po nito ay mapapatupad na at we're expecting to garner substantial additional revenues out of the fuel marking program.
Sir, this target of 760 billion for fuel marking alone, like how much yung share niya with the total expected revenue of Bureau of Customs for this year?
Ma'am, yung 760 billion po, yun ang total target namin. We're still now looking at how much of that is going to be attributed to, or the estimates of that is going to be attributed to the success of the fuel marking program. Last year ho, 10 billion, so most likely we're looking at the same figure or maybe a little adjustment to it. So mga ganun ho siguro din ang portion na ine-expect namin, kung hindi man mas malaki doon.
Questions, MPC? Mela?
For Bureau of Customs po, segue lang sir sa mainit na issue ngayon. Sa gitna po ng 2019 novel coronavirus, may I ask kung para lang din alam po ng publiko, paano natin sinisecure na walang safe from any viruses yung mga pumapasok na animal products sa Pilipinas? And kumusta po ba yung imports ng animal products? Like may exotic animals ba tayong naitatala? Like specifically paniki? Thank you po.
Well, we've intercepted some exotic animals. Usually dumadaan yan sa Ninoy Aquino International Airport. But very vigilant naman yung task force natin doon. There's an interagency task force there outside of the efforts of the men and women of the Bureau of Customs in AIA. Nai-intercept naman namin yan kasi very active ngayon yung Regional Intelligence Liaison Office coordination namin. So this is an intelligence coordination network from our other partner customs authorities all over Asia. So, meron kami nakukuha ang advance information. Now, with regards to the coronavirus, number one, the commissioner has already issued a directive to our personnel, most specifically to our personnel, to be in complete gear when conducting the initial examination for items coming in from countries that have been identified to have positive results in terms of infection of these viruses. Pangalawa ho, nakikipagtulungan kami very closely with the Department of Agriculture in treating food products coming in from these countries. We're leaving it to the Department of Agriculture if they will impose a ban or some stricter measure. But right now, we don't allow any importation of food products without the corresponding license coming from the Food and Drug Authority or the Department of Agriculture. We're also working very closely with the Task Force on Anti-Agricultural Smuggling formed by Secretary Dar of the Department of Agriculture, and the intelligence and enforcement groups of the Bureau of Customs are now on full alert as per order of the Commissioner. Again, guarding against all items, not just food items, by which we've coordinated the DOH and the DA that might be a carrier or a source of carrying these diseases other than actual humans.
Okay, questions? MPC? Wala na kayong tanong? Okay na? Okay, Ina. Microphone, please.
Hi, sa BIR naman po, this is about collections from Pogo operations, which was also mentioned earlier. Can we get your expectations for this year? And if you have new data regarding yung compliance po sa letter notices, which I understand were given out late last year.
Pardon mo? Pardon.
Can we get your expectations sa collections po from Pogo operations this year? And if meron po kayong updated or new data regarding yung compliance po ng iba doon sa nabigyan ng notices with unpaid?
Yes, ma'am. They are complying. There are some also nakakalendar na pwedeng i-operate pa. No? Hindi pa namin pwedeng i-divulge dito. So we're doing our best. Yung mga iba na na-notify na, pumupunta na sa opisina.
Ang huli ko po kasing nakuhang data, sir, meron pa silang combined liability of 25 billion. This is as of November 13. Has there been a significant, how significant na po yung compliance? Because I believe that covers more than 160 letter notices.
Meron. Actually, yung iba nagbayad na, nakakomply na, kaya medyo maganda ang collection namin dyan sa Pogo. But the exact figure, hindi ko pa masabi. Kasi wala pa, hindi pa binabat sa akin. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, from Business Mirror. Microphone.
Mag-inquire lang po kami regarding po dun sa update regarding dun sa collection ng government for rice tariffication, yung nag-start po since last year.
Well, sa amin na-meet naman namin yung yung target na sinet sa amin. I think we're from the latest figures is about 11 or but more than 10 billion pesos were already collected out of the rice tariffication. We're just trying to fine-tune the exact figures up until December. It could run to about 11 or 12 billion. The expectation was about 14, kaya lang medyo nag-slow down because medyo naging careful din dun sa volume. So yung SPS issuances ng Department of Agriculture came into play also. And I'd just like to clarify, I think the latest figures that we got now is that the collection target of the Bureau of Customs is actually 731 billion for this year. So yung 760 was the earlier one that was talked about, but the final figure is 731.
Okay. Okay, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Questions, MPC? Jillian?
Back to the fuel marking. Do you have any data on how much in total are the oil smuggled that you have retrieved in the past few years?
I don't know how to say this. Actually, we can't quantify yung amount or volume that is smuggled kasi nga smuggled siya, di ba? But I can give you the figures in volume, no? In terms of increase of the declared volume from 2015 to 2019. So for 2015, oil products declared with the Bureau was at 10.57 billion. Then in 2016, it was at 11.4 billion. 2017, 11.45 billion. In 2018, it increased by more than $1 billion with 12.39 billion. And it jumped by another 2 billion in 2019, which is now at 14.8 billion. So, if you notice, tumataas po yung volume that is being declared. So, if there is smuggling, we cannot say. But what I can assure you is that they are declaring more volume than they used to do.
So with that pattern, because every year tumataas yung volume of smuggled oil, you think with the full rollout this year, we will finally at least lessen it or totally,
Eliminate?
yes, eliminate it?
That's the expectation. That's why we're rolling out because as you know, this is the fuel marking program is actually an anti-smuggling effort that anticipates a high rate of illicit activities because of the effects of the train law. Kung tinaso natin ang rate ng mga buwis na babayaran para sa pag-angkat ng petrolyo at pagbenta ng petrolyo, ang kaukulan ho nitong tinitingnan namin is magkakaroon ng mas malaking gain o malaking incentive ang mga individual na nag-iisip ng masasama para mag-conduct ng illicit trade. So that's why the government needs to balance that particular risk by putting in a fuel marking program para maiwasan ho yun. At the same time, to address the long-standing issue on smuggling. We don't have figures kasi nga tama yun. Smuggled nga naman. But studies coming from other international organizations would usually support the increase in volume that's now being declared to us. We attribute the increase in volume because those who have usually been evading payment of taxes are now fearful of the implementation of the program. So instead of actually having the long arm of the law finally catch up with them, they're trying to pay the right duties and taxes now. So that's why nag-i-increase. So if you go by that alone, titingnan mo na about 40% ng actual volume na binabayaran dito, mga 40% nun to 50% na sa smuggle. Kasi ganun yung increase ng volume bigla eh. Of course, may factor din naman na baka pwedeng may high demand, but we're looking at it as not the highest of likelihood. Plus, may mga studies nga na nagsasabing roughly it's about 20 to 40 billion pesos daw ang nawawala sa gobyerno a year because of oil smuggling. And looking at the estimates, maaring suportado at least within those figures yung nawawala dito na gusto naming ma-recover.
Okay, thank you, Jillian. May tanong pa? Okay na tayo, MPC? Joyce, may tanong ka? Okay. Okay, thank you po sa ating mga bisita mula sa BIR at BOC. Thank you, MPC. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.